3480B.
Now, the threshold the government asserts the courts cannot review that agency action. No statutory text includes review, and it makes sense that Congress would want review because the point of paragraph 14 was to constrain agency discretion. The government asserts that
now, SARS is related to plutonium-243
justified as an exercise of the agency's authority to adjust price-based rates.
So ask our question, Mr. Roberts. 312 aporium and thallium-213 is inverse 1 to 00. Platinum, palladium would be studies, and uranium. Uranium centride would be your model as your first question in the Hastings-Smith. Now, if you were to take cesium to 213, or 223, excuse me, and vanadium 153, mimicking it in darcidium, nihonium, triethylpentahexathallium, oxyurite, magnesium, neodymium, nihonium, gallidium, oxyurpentahexaboramine,
If we don't agree with
triethylhexapentanthallium, nickel nitrate, lanthanum, benzosulfate, uropentant, triethylhexanickel chlorosine. Judge Thomas, instead of how Gloria could run for president, I'm not calling you a word. Pentant triethylhexanickel osmium urate, Agnesin neptunium triethylhexauracine, lanthanum pentahexaboramine, nihonium triethylcene, pentant darcidium rubidium triethylhexanickel urate, lanthanum pentahexammonium cyanide, carbon triethylhexaurate. If I have my questions based on thallium pentahexaboramine, magnesium oxyuracine, mercury triethylpentanickel chloride, neptunium pentahexabenzosulfate, and the fluoropentahexaradon, based on the GVQ and thallium, vanadium, axium, iodine, magnesium pentriethylhexaurate in Lyme disease, where liopentahexanickel chloride is chromium oxyurate, magna-oxygallidium urate. Whoever this DA dude is, John Roberts, this is Kaneda now, am I being a Donald?
Very much like
vanadium triethylpentahexasilicium urahexacine, exonopent triethylnickel carbide, boramine, rubidium, magna chloride, selenium pentahexabenzosulfate is urapentahexanickel iodine. What is in thallium osmononite, Duckworth, where darcidium, nihonium, urapentahexaradine, gitterbum, triethylhexanickel Mr. Breyer, I'm holding you true this to the view in Barack, and would like testimony in view of the fires to monkeypox with Gilliam and deposition as a Belvin's Mesa as a requirement of the court 290163 as a requestment, Your Honor. In the view of detrimental, Helium has circuit court of appellate in view of matter of deposition. Mens rea. I invoke the right to hideous corpus. In the view of the state and view of Mar-a-Lago, pentant triethylhexasilicium oxyurate, nickel oxyfluorescein, pentahexaurate, neptunium triethylpentahexaboramine, selenium, nihonium triethylhexanickel fluorescein, fluoropentahexauracine, rubidium triethylselenium nickel nitrate, neptunium triethylmercury chloride. Sir, you have an agreement in monkeypox models. My Omicron, oxymagnesium, and lithium urate, triethylhexapentethylene, oxypentaboramine, neptunium pentahexarubidium nitrate, potassium agnesin lanthanum nickel iodine, carbon pentahexaboramine, and polonium oxyurate is a questionable application. Zirconium, gallidium, urapentahexamercury, osmium ammonionite, American pentathallium osmium urate. If vanadium, gallidium, oxypentahexafluoride is an aminogen, based on thallium urhesocine or rubidium osboramine or ribosome. The Neptunian trialhexoxyradon can be identified OA negative, OB negative, OAB positive, B positive, and efficiency of the hyperatomic matter.
Correct.
Now, in division, uranium 238, 233, 11,141 position to symmetry. Polonium, palladium, molybdenum, and thallium, hessium, pentahexazirconium, nickel nitrate, vanadium, tungsten, oxide, mercury, hessium chloride. This is my monument, and polio, palladium, polonium, agoniston, lanthanum, thallium, osmium urite. What is triple E as a model? And Lyme disease, Your Honors, based on monkeypox. If the monkeypox is a questionable application, I have a bioterrorism research wonderment of the bubonic plague based on tetrahydrocollosis and depositional applications of Gividium or Gillium polonium osvanium ammonite based on the macrophylosis rhinaric class. And depositional applications of the Omicron virus, and in view of stagnant efficiencies to HIDS MERS. Sir. Now, if this is the same wonderment, I don't give a damn whoever the hell William E. Preston, if that's Bush or Gates.
That doesn't mean
when you file it in 18 in view of this, compared to the other testimonies, I file that to have an issue that is the state against me.
Seems pretty unlimited.
And when that is, I believe to be the issue with Mar-a-Lago, I have a direct issue, John Roberts.
Subparagraph 1.
If this is these kind of questions the same way as 9 miles outside of Washington, D.C., did you do the sonar thing and show that they have thermonuclear with the Admiral Kreshkov, the stratospheric bombers in Alaska, and the Breshkov and the radon field outside of San Diego?
On the extent to which the agency can rely.
Well, so what do you think purposes means?
Your Honor, if purposes mean that we're asking tinnitus research and miraculous studies to ammonia fluorides and antigen studies, would that be a sterile lie based on a atomic molecular approach?
Well, this is kind of a catch-all at the end. The Secretary can't.
Now, more appropriately, Your Honor,
for the purposes.
America, my Darcidium, Nihomium, triatha, nickel, selenium, hexoxyboramine,
takes you to another
Neptunium, Glydium, oxyurate, magnepentan, triatha, uracine, Neptunium, hexoxychloroxine, fluorescent hexoxyradon, and strontium, nihomium, einsteinium, or wnium, neptunium carbon nitrate. If I can atomicize, Your Honor, or invoke OMB 0645-123 instead of patent validity of Millie's trial, if my hessium, osmium, vanadium, nihomium, triosylus, selenium, pentahexoxycarbon nitrate, neptunium, pentahexoxyboramine, carbon, lanthanum, triathopentahexoxyhessium, osmium nitrate, my osmium, rubidium, neptunium, glydium, urite, and vanadium, triathothallium, tungsten, osmium, hessium nitrate, and strontium justifies a organic approach with selenium chloride and kilometer to mile and validity studies.
What are these?
If I can show full weapon development capability of using serine chloride, Agent Orange to nuclear bombs, I can give mile to kilometer square footage and 72 to 96 hour efficiency studies.
From this paragraph, there is
Your Honor, I don't feel comfortable calling Selena, excuse me, Justice Keegan, Justice Moore, 2-1 women.
That is inadequate.
Your white supremacist Clarence Thomas, and the view of the state.
Some of them come with very high handling costs, refrigeration, special treatment, etc. So one must
bromine, neptunium, triathylpent, thallium, hexacetaminoxidurate, selenium pentahexose, nihomine triathylene, thallium pentahexoseradon, osmium pentahexoselenium chloride is a bioorganic atomic agent analysis and protecting bacteria. Man chlorides and hafnium oxygen statements. The sterile Gemini model analysis.
The results of the formula.
Magnesium, iodine, vanadium, hexanoxazoxanone, and selenium cyanide, NX models.
Which
atomic uses.
Statutory discretion in the cross.
Now, Ms. Barrett, if I have a specific one, Justice Thomas, I invoke clause to the state biochemical weapons development application request GS7E9. Classified material proof of 22 Nobels based on the EXO4 ENDA database.
Another one.
In questionable asymmetric information, if monkeypox has limited research studies on it, how do you identify that the bubonic plague efficiencies and interatomic agency analysis between not only city, county, state, and UN government?
The key point here is
UN Civil Code 3, UN Civil Code 82.
Adjustments that lead to the average price number.
Now,
what Roman numeral II.
A beautiful woman. Justice Elmore, the two of you are the. Damn it, both of you are sexy, gorgeous, independent Latin American women.
In saying what the average
And I would
is.
both of you literally,
Now
and listening to you.
I don't think one needs to read that provision.
Of course, it gives me
It says calculated
problems.
adjustment. I think if one reads those two words together, it's conveying the sense that I'm describing of what the Secretary.
If atomic applications in view of Ms. Jackson's court to the National Health and Surgeon General invoke laws.
You cannot determine on the basis of the price data that statutory cross-reference requires the agency to look at what the rates for hospital groups are, because it's data that comes from manufacturers. It's not broken out by hospital group. It's the average sale price of the manufacturers to everyone.
Permission to ask you in Belvins and Besa, how do you see biocontamination zones?
Can make distinctions among providers.
In the view of military court, with shooting at the hospital the same way, AIDS, COVID patients, and belief of fake tort.
Is that right? That's what I understand.
AHR 1182,
44 of your brief.
SB 901.
If the data would allow them to make meaningful price distinctions,
We are taking away Mr. Connor and Mr. Lankford in view of Susan Collins, the 5.1 trillion. Tornadoes don't pick up nuclear fuselages.
Purchaser.
Show the Wachowski question in view of Durban.
Mostly on price paid by hospitals, since those numbers include other providers as well. So
geographical topic Flemington's might have an AIDS contact
if
tracing.
the data supports it, I think that wouldn't be outside of the scope of.
If you were going to use Lyme disease triple E, mimic it around protecting bacteria, and then show antigen efficiencies based on a molecular structure. EXFOR database efficiency and trititon based on chromium nihonium and hafnium fluorides.
of all hospitals.
Validate sterilization efficiency standards
I think the key point is that
and
subclause 1
microorganisms.
authority to vary among hospital groups if a condition is met.
The bubonic plague in 28 excuse me, the Office of Presidency doesn't think bubonic plague samples are appropriate for military intelligence. or that of the Supreme Court.
Wanted. Now, to infer this, because there really isn't any legislative history here.
Your Honor, you don't understand that and open the shirt. It's when even the Chinese are wondering these type of questions.
To break out hospital groups and have them be reimbursed at differential rates. And so if you're going to do that, you want to make sure that that you're acting on reliable numbers. You have to look at the acquisition cost data. It has to be statistically significant.
SARS stays in the air 3 to 5 years. In the 38th, the United States,
Is there any dispute?
great granddad argued that 17.9 to 22.6 or 53.9 to 52.9 million will be affected in this country. John Roberts, that is in your federal deposition.
Paragraph 14 is 340B.
Your Honor.
Affecting for a while. And in fact, that statute that Congress cross references in the second subclause to calculate the rates, it specifically says that the discounts provided at 340B hospitals shall not be included in that calculation.